What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Chuck Wick Ills, aka Charles Brown, back again with another what? Talking facts. Controversial show. I tackle controversial topics. Some of these topics divide us. Some of these topics make people upset. Some of these topics get people in their feelings, but this is what I do. This is what I do. So I wanna address something I've been seeing this all day. I've been seeing this all day, and I personally think it's lame, but let's talk about it. Did Colin Kaepernick, by way of settling his grievances financially with the NFL, did he sell us out, the ones who believed in his cause, the ones that he was kneeling for, one fist in the air, giving the Black Power salute, or not? I don't think he was doing all that. I think he just was kneeling down and took a couple years worth of heat, and some say he was blackballed. He then put a grievance in, him and Eric Reed, who were basically not working for a while. Kaepernick has not thrown a ball in the NFL since 2016. Why, you may ask? Well, there are various theories, but one of the theories is that he was blackballed. And I'm going to be honest with you, when it first happened, I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you because that's not what I do. I talk facts. When it first happened, I was not saying that Colin Kaepernick was blackballed. I honestly wasn't saying that. It sounded like another conspiracy theory. It sounded like some wild-eyed, some Doc from Back to the Future theory that some crazed lunatic has concocted that Kaepernick was being blackballed because, for one, he was a black man kneeling down, causing trouble for all these good, clean people. Now, we all watched it. We watched it go down. We all picked a side. We all said they kneeling for this or they kneeling for that. Some people felt that it was unwarranted. Some people felt that it was selfish. Some people felt that it was disrespectful to the flag. Some people even turned it into an issue of a disrespect to the military, disrespect to the men and women in uniform. We've had these conversations over and over and over. So at this point, if a person still thinks that Colin Kaepernick or any NFL player taking a knee is disrespect to the uniform or the country itself, you obviously do not know what the country itself is built upon. Our country in and of itself was built upon rebellion. It's built upon protest, and it's built upon free speech. So that in and of itself should allow Colin Kaepernick to kneel down wherever he wants to. But let's just say you got offended that he kneeled down during the national anthem. And that's not the time or place, according to some people. So what is the time or place to do a protest? When you're at your most watched, when you're not going to do a protest in your backyard under a tarp. You're going to do a protest in the middle of the town, in the middle of the day when everyone can see you. When you see these people protesting abortion, or they're protesting their job situation, or they're striking for this, that, and the third, they don't do it when they're supposed to be off of work. They do it while they're supposed to be working. They strike. The teachers strike during school hours. They close the schools. You would never tell a teacher that it's wrong to strike. You would never say that. You would never tell someone who's fighting for their basically their way of life, their what they feel is justice. If you would never tell someone who saw something unjust and they wanted to speak on it, you would never say, unless you didn't think it was unjust. You would never contradict that person. Let's just say that. So what I'm saying is when Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed and other players followed suit, they kneeled down. They were kneeling down because black people, black men, and a few women here and there, mostly black men, young black men, were getting shot, brutalized, beat down by cops. And it ain't always white cops, because black cops do the same thing. This was a protest to bring awareness to black brutality. Brutality at the hands of the law enforcers. The law, the people who are supposed to basically uphold the law and see to it that the law is enforced correctly, were basically shooting down people without weapons, without arms, and most of them are black. And most of the time when they get shot, they could have been, a guy got killed with a 3-inch knife in his hand. He had a 3-inch knife in his hand, walking down the middle of a street. The cops weren't even close to this guy. He, quote unquote, lunged, supposedly, and these cops opened fire, killed that man. I've seen white guys with more weapons than that get taken in unharmed. Let's just say that. So it was a statement to say, yo, it doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to shoot and kill us in every situation. We're in the car with our girlfriend and our child, and you're putting 6 bullets in my chest because I told you I had a gun, but you thinking I'm reaching for it because you're so-called scared. It's dehumanizing. You're dehumanizing us as a race of people. So that's what the man was kneeling for. So he's kneeling just to say, look, man, I'm not even going to say this out loud. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just kneel down silently. If you ask me what it's for, I'm going to tell you. But he wasn't screaming on people every day about his cause or whatever. The media made this thing a big deal. People who didn't like the fact that he kneeled down during the, people who weren't even standing themselves were upset that this man was kneeling down. So this was where we were at. Kaep was getting ostracized. He was getting very brutally attacked in the media, not in the media, more so online, the social media. He was getting attacked and getting even some of the commentators were saying this was not the place, this was not the time. So he wasn't looked at favorably. They were burning his jerseys, if I'm not mistaken. I think they burned his jersey and, all kind of stuff. They called him a lot of things. He was a traitor. Your girl, Tommy Lauren, went in, and then your other girl, it's another singer. She went in, like, just don't do it against the national anthem. So I'm just going to touch on this national anthem thing really quickly. The national anthem was written by a slave owner. So basically, when he wrote that national anthem, slaves were escaping, trying to find their freedom any kind of way, and they were running off to fight with the British, some of them. Because if I'm looking at it like this, if I'm going to be here in chains getting whooped, chunks of my skin taken out every time this guy feel like, or I'm going to run and fight with the British and I can be free or have a chance to be free, I'm going to run to the British. Anyone would do that. This guy wrote an anthem. In the third verse, he was just saying basically those people were traitors. Those slaves that ran were betraying a country that really had no respect for them. But the national anthem was wrote at that time to pump up the troops of America, and it was to show that it was to take pride in the country, and to tell those slaves, whoever they were, in that third verse, he basically was saying, we're going to catch you, you're going to die. So there's that. So when we stand up for that, that's what you're standing up for. A song that basically is a death threat to anyone, black or white, who traded on this so-called land that he loved. So when you're telling a man he should stand for that, he can't kneel for that, it's a whole other issue. You know what I'm saying? First of all, it's freedom of speech. You're not supposed to have to stand for nothing. This is America. Ain't nothing supposed to come on that makes you stand up or sit down. There is no law. There is no law that you have to stand for the national anthem. That's a fact. We're talking facts. You cannot get mad at a person because he does not want to stand for the national anthem, no matter what he's doing. Now, if he's offensive, he's pulling out his penis or something, that's different. But if he's just sitting in his seat, there is no one going to go tap up, hey, buddy, it's the national anthem, unless they're a moron. But other than that, people stand because they want to. It's ingrained in you as a child. You're at your desk in frickin' kindergarten, and you stand and you face the flag and you put your hand over your heart. So we think in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, we're supposed to do that for the rest of our lives at every single game. No matter what it is, you're supposed to stop and do that. Facts. So that's where we at with it. So it's not something that is a law. And honestly, if you're black, it ain't even something that you really need to be standing for, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? We fought every war with you, bro. This country wouldn't be here without us. It is a fact. So if you're going to condemn a man for not standing for that, there's a lot of white people that don't stand for it too. And there's a lot of white people who agreed with his stance, and he spoke to him. I believe it was a Marine who gave him the idea of how to protest it. It was a veteran. He had a conversation. They were discussing what would be offensive and what would not be offensive. They both came up with the idea that he should kneel during the national anthem as a sign of protest. It's a fact. So this is a veteran telling him this is the best way. So you combine all that. He's getting dumped on. Everybody has something to say. That controversy. The country's divided right down the line. You got Trump calling him an asshole and fire those sons of bitches. It's fiery language. It's hyped up. It's pumped up rhetoric. It's just animated foolishness. It's just building up and keeping something going that isn't really that serious until you make it that serious. You know what I'm saying? So it was built up into this big thing. Kaepernick then becomes a pariah. He becomes something to be avoided. He gets cut, I'm going to say, from the 49ers, and no one picks him up. Right? I think he worked out for his team here and there. No one picked him up. It was a hot potato. Don't touch it. Because he's going to come in your stadium, he's going to kneel. Plus, they're going to go super duper ignorant on your team when you sign this guy. It wasn't worth the risk. And not only that, I don't even think it wasn't worth the risk because they just took Kareem Hunt. They just signed Kareem Hunt, who pushed and kicked a white female before the season started. They knew about it before the season started. He played almost the whole season, but then he didn't because the heat came on because someone put a video out, whatever happened. I don't know. End of the day, he was suspended for the rest of the season, but now they just picked him up again. You're telling me you just picked up a guy who was on tape physically pushing and kicking a female, which if you watch it, it ain't that serious, but it's whatever. It sounds serious. So this guy is pushing and kicking a female, but he's okay to sign, right? Him and his boys are at a hotel. The female so-called come in, and then they find out that they're underage or something, and they kick him out. The girls get mad. They bang on the door for mad long, until he finally comes out, tries to leave, and this girl starts all over him. So he gets mad and does whatever, right? That's okay. Kaep never, ever disrespected himself or a female. He wasn't that dude, but he's unsignable. He's unsignable. Michael Vick killed dogs, and I'm a Michael Vick fan, and I was the first one to say he did his time, bro. Leave him alone. Michael Vick got out of jail, and when he started trying to get back in the league, these people were talking about killing him. There were death threats. There were people on social media saying they wanted to physically kill him, kill this human, because he had killed some dogs. And yet Michael Vick got re-signed, played for about 4 or 5 years. With this bad rep, these people hated him. They wanted him to die for killing the dogs, but yet he somehow made his way back to the field. I think he made the playoffs, and I think, you know what I'm saying? I think he was 1 game away from the Super Bowl. I could be wrong. But he's signable, right? He's signable. He's picking dogs about the throat, choking them. But he's signable. Dante Stallworth killed the man in a drunk driving incident. He came back and played for a couple years after that. Facts. Facts. I'm almost certain it was a drunk driving DUI. He killed a man. And I'm not sure what his name. I can't remember his name right now, but he played for the Rams. Down lineman, I believe. I can't remember his name right now. He killed somebody drinking and driving. Came back to the league he played a couple years. So you can't tell me, yeah, mad domestic violence abusers, mad people came back. But this man kneeled down and he's unsignable. You're scraping the Redskins signed Mark Sanchez. Facts. Mark Sanchez has been a bum for years. Redskins signed Mark Sanchez. Kaepernick's out there on the wire. He's not unavailable. He's available. Right? If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl. I could be wrong. I could be tripping right now. I'm bugging. But I think Kaep went to the Super Bowl. I could be wrong. The one where the lights went out, they had the blackout. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Something like that. Whatever. If you go to anybody's Super Bowl, you're playing for years. What's this dude that was with the Bears and he went to Denver? And this guy still play. He hasn't shown anything. He shows Derek Anderson. He shows signs of greatness here and there, but Derek Anderson hasn't done nothing to warrant him still being in the league every year as a backup. They won't even bring Kaep in as a third-string backup. Mark Sanchez came in as a third-string backup and absolutely looked horrible. Redskins, both quarterbacks went down. Sanchez came out. This is his time to shine. Here we go. Now's you. And this guy was a disaster. You couldn't put Kaep in there. So that's why they settled this thing yesterday. Because at the end of the day, if you go to trial and they're going to pull out, they probably got 50 to 100 names of quarterbacks that's complete ass, that's sitting on rosters right now, that don't have nowhere near his skill. They was going to lose that case. So Kaepernick settled, which, end of the day, they probably paid this man, and I saw this before I got on, they probably paid this man more than he would have made playing. They probably paid him more than he would have made if he was on the field. But he can't talk about it. No one can talk about it. And this is the thing. They're saying, the reason I made this, because people are saying Kaep sold out. So I'm like, how did Kaep sell out when the whole lawsuit in the first place was because he just wanted to play football? He wanted to play ball. Take football from Tom Brady. This guy probably melt like a snail and die because football, he loves it. Kaep just wanted to play and earn a living, right? So he sues the NFL. What is it? 2 years of this lawsuit going on and on. He does the Nike commercial. All of a sudden, he's the golden boy again, which the commercial is fantastic. It's beautiful. They took a chance. They didn't have to. These dummies come out talking about they boycott Nike. Nike sales went up. because the Kaepernick commercial. These guys ain't stupid. These guys did mad. They did mad research before they put that Kaepernick commercial out. They did mad market research. So they didn't just throw the commercial out and hope what happened and cross their fingers. They did market research. They saw that his social media approval rating was way higher than it was he was disapproved. They put the commercial out. I think their sales went up like 600%. I don't know for a fact what it was, but it was some ridiculous number. So you telling me this guy can't play for the NFL? Because of what? Because of what? Because some lame ass racist dude somewhere thinks that he's disrespectful to the flag, or he's disrespectful to the, no matter how many times he says it's not about that, right? I promise you, if Aaron Rodgers was kneeling down for any fucking thing, that they would have made a fucking day out. They would have made a holiday. They would have made this shit. They would have made them start to do it in the fucking stadium. Like, yo, if you're for whatever, like, it would have been like, it's your choice, whatever. It wouldn't have been this kind of backlash. It would have been a small amount of people. Of course, everything has some detractors. But if Aaron Rodgers would have took a cause and kneeled down, they would have been like, there's Aaron Rodgers again, kneeling down for babies with cleft lips or whatever. It would have been whatever he wanted it to be. Right? This guy ain't no Aaron Rodgers. The fight is different. The fight is different. So now he's blackballed. And like I said, I didn't believe he was blackballed when he first couldn't. I was looking at his numbers like, man, this dude ain't even that nice, y'all. The last couple of years, he stunk, trying to just entertain the nonsense. But as it went on and on, he wouldn't get, they were bringing back bums. I think Brian Leftwich still had a job. Like, it was like bums, bro. Still playing. Still out here. What's this dude? He played for the Cowboys. And he been playing. He's like 40. He's like 40 now. And he's on the Cowboys roster. The same time Kaepernick couldn't get a job. This guy was 40. A journeyman. He was on like 8 different teams. How does RG3 have a job? How does RG3, Robert Griffin III, how does he have a job and Kaep don't? You know why? Because Kaep was right. And that's why he took up his lawsuit. And that's why the lawyers who took it with him accepted the case. Because it's undisputable. Who's going to play RG3 over Kaepernick? I'll wait. You're starting a team. You're trying to win a game. You're trying to win games right now. Who are you going to take? Are you going to take RG3 over Kaepernick? Please tell me you're going to take RG3 over Kaepernick. Right now, Kaepernick looking better, almost better than Flacco right now. You have to debate, are you taking Flacco over Like, let's be real. Let's be real. So, you're going to tell me this guy isn't better than half these guys in there. Probably 10 of the starters he could beat, but they won't touch him. That's blackballed, bro. That's blackballed. So if you're blackballed and you bring up a grievance and you do a court case, most cases are settled out of court. It's a fact. If you're suing for money, you don't always go to the end because you might lose. Or they might run you 10 years. They could have ran Kaep 10 years fooling around trying to sue these niggas. So what I'm saying is, put it like this. They never said who accepted what. They never said who came to the table with what. They just said the two parties agreed. How are you selling out if you had a lawsuit for some wrongdoing and they paid you? Admitting wrongdoing. If the NFL was, bro, you know how long it took them to admit concussions were real? You know how long that took? Do you know how long it took them to admit that these guys were having issues from all that head banging, that they were having issues? Junior Seau, these people killing themselves after the fact. It took them years to even acknowledge it. Now is we want to make the game safer. All this, it's not the same, bro. They could have run Kaepernick up for 10 years. But they didn't. They didn't. He started the lawsuit in 17, if I'm not mistaken. We're in the second month of 2019. That ain't even a full year. That's barely a year and some change. And they caved and they gave him his money. So I go online and I'm seeing, it's not a big amount, but it's there. Where they're saying, Cap sold us out. We doing all this. It's some YouTube people, it's a lot of people. Cap sold us out. It's just to get their numbers. It's just to talk. It's just to get your clicks and just to get people to read your stuff. But who in their right mind is going to say, first of all, this ain't Martin Luther King, bro. This dude just took a knee for a cause. He still got to eat. Even Martin Luther King was getting paid to go places. People don't know that. Martin Luther King was getting paid to go places, bro. He wasn't doing it for free. He had to live, bro. Facts. So, this dude sued for the wages he should have gotten lawfully. He sued. He won. They settled out of court. They only settle out of court when they know they're going to lose much more if they go to court. It's a fact. They got like 100 lawyers, bro. They don't got to go to court for nobody. But if Cap wait them out 10 years and then he hit him for $150 million, you know what I'm saying? Because now you made me wait 10 years. I could have played for 10 years. Now you made me wait 10 years. Now you're going to give me $150 million. They know it, you know it, not know it. So Cap took what was due to him. Eric Reed took what was due. It's not right to blackball him. It doesn't matter what the fans say, because the fans going to watch shit anyway. Fact. All these people boycott this and that. I never said I was going to boycott the NFL. Never said it even one time. Because I knew I wasn't going to boycott the NFL. I knew it for a fact. And I knew a lot of dudes that was saying that was going to be watching. How many of these motherfuckers was complaining about this and that with the NFL and then was talking about the Super Bowl in their timeline? It's a fact. A lot of these dudes was going to, they wasn't watching this, they wasn't watching that, but then they know the record of their team. They know who did what in fantasy, but you boycotting, right? Right. So I never said I was going to boycott because it didn't make any sense. It's too many black people on that field earning a living to say I'm a boycott because one dude got whatever. And he's going to get his day in court. Don't worry about that. People saying the NFL is racist. The NFL been racist. What are you talking about? You acting like you just found out that the NFL was racist. Dude, Doug Williams was the first black quarterback ever, let alone to win a Super Bowl. He the first black starting quarterback, let alone to win a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl on his own. And he still was trying to make him sit for Jay Schrader. Doug Williams won a Super Bowl. And they still was saying we wasn't smart enough to be quarterbacks. It is a fact. Why you think in the 90s there was an uproar about there's no black coaches? Before Mike Tomlinson and Dan Green, before that, it's a fact. We couldn't coach, we couldn't quarterback. We could run the ball because we big ass horses, so we good at running, blocking. But don't try to lead this team. Stay in your place. It's a fact. So now in 2017, you just realize the NFL is racist? You just realized this? You've been watching this shit since the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, and now is when you going to boycott because they racist? They been racist, bro. So I don't buy it. I'm not buying your logic. I'm not buying that shit. They've been saying the NFL been racist back when the dude said, "Oh, the African males are built better. They're just their bodies are structured, whatever. Some racist shit saying that the only reason we excelled is because our bodies were built a certain way. It wasn't that we were smart at the shit. It's just that we was just so well built that we was just going to excel regardless whether we was dumb or smart. Racist shit. So, and he got fired. I believe it might have been Jimmy the Greek. I don't know who said that. Got fired. It's not that's the thinking of it. That's not. He didn't say nothing that wasn't thought. He just said it out loud. So you're telling me you're going to boycott because it's racist? You're full of shit, bro. This shit been racist, but that's neither here nor there. Kaepernick wasn't kneeling because the NFL was racist. He was kneeling for police brutality. The NFL coaches all decided none of us going to touch this. They had to collude because one. Did I say coaches? The NFL owners. If I say coaches, I meant owners. I don't know. The NFL owners got together because if one of them go ahead and sign him, it hurts the brand because then you got these people talking about I'm boycotting the NFL, which they were doing anyway. White and black on both sides talking about boycott. If they would have signed Colin Kaepernick, it would have been a riot of proportions. The online buzz would have been crazy. They were already talking about the ratings were down because of it, which is not true because the ratings go up and down every year. They always try to pin it on one thing or the other. The ratings are up, down, up, down. Then it's the most watched game. I think this Super Bowl right here, I could be wrong. I think they said this was the most watched Super Bowl in history. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If it's right, facts. The most watched in the history of the NFL. The year that y'all supposed to be boycotting. All right, whatever. So the NFL owners had to collude because if one sign them, then you bringing down the brand in their mind. These are old white men who have a lot to lose. They can't have no tomfoolery and have this guy bring down the entire brand. So all of them said none of us going to sign him. Fact. I think maybe 2 teams worked them out. I don't know who worked them out. I think even recently Belichick worked them out. Or they was about to work him out and then they stopped him before he got there. I don't know. All I know is this guy was looked at as a pariah, untouchable, and to be left to his own devices. He sued, he won, he took the money. Because believe it or not, a settlement is a win. Unless they burn you and you take a lower amount than you would have got. Like way lower. This is a win-win. How do you sell out? He didn't sell me out. My answer to the question of did Cap sell out, I'm going to answer. Mine is no. Just for those wondering. It's disrespectful to say he sold out when, first of all, he didn't put the whole black race on his back. He had a cause that he was trying to bring awareness to. He never said he didn't want to get paid. And he should get paid. Because they owe him money. Because he was good enough to be paid. And he did what he needed to do. And the only reason that they didn't put him back in the league is because they were scared. And that's collusion. And they would have lost. He won what he was looking for, which is his payment. They owed him. You should be celebrating. If you black, you should be celebrating. Popping champagne for this man. But yet I'm seeing these weirdos and just nut jobs just on this pro-black. It's faux black to me. Because if you know anything about the black experience, it's about coming up, bro. It ain't about doing this shit for free. It ain't about letting these motherfuckers fuck you and then you sitting out here with a fucking picket sign. How can he help anyone if he's broke? And if you say he's a sellout, you don't know what a fucking sellout is. This guy risked everything. This guy was on one knee when your ass is in the house eating a fucking rib sandwich. And you're going to tell that man, you wouldn't do the shit at your own fucking job. But you're going to tell him what he's supposed to do and not do. Half of y'all motherfuckers wouldn't say shit to your boss if he called you a nigga. But yeah, he sold out, right? So my whole thing is, if you're looking at this guy as some form of sellout, I need you to check yourself and understand. Go look up the meaning of the word sellout. Sellout is a person who, against all he knows, against all the wishes and the desires of a people, a race, black people, you go and do whatever you need to do that's harming that race to bring your money up. If you're going to put on blackface and do a tap dance and be a Sambo because they like it and it's funny and they pay you to do it and you know it's killing us as a race, but you keep doing it, that is a sellout. In fact. So I'm not going to ever say Colin Kaepernick is no sellout, because no one was doing what he was doing when he did it. And he could have caved and came back in the league and been on some yassa bossa because he wanted his money. A lot of dudes stopped kneeling. I wanted the kneeling to stop because I just wanted to get back football. This is my sport, bro. Whatever the fuck it is, racist, whatever it is, football is life, bro. And that's what we grew up on. And that's what I watch. I don't want all this shit in my fucking shit. But it's there. It's real life and we had to deal with it. Cap dealt with it. Cap dealt with it against a lot of people's wishes, and a lot of people got angry. They didn't like it. Cap had to take the heat. Eric Reed even got back in the league. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think Eric Reed, ain't he playing for the Panthers or something? Somebody. Baltimore, somewhere. I could be wrong. But I'm almost certain is it Tennessee? He's somewhere playing. Cap ain't playing nowhere. Cap ain't playing nowhere. So a sellout would have been for him to come back for league minimum and stop leading and stop kneeling. That would have been selling out. But nah, he don't sell out because he got his money. You need to get your money. That's what we doing. We out here trying to get this money, and you're out here on social media calling the black man that's doing the utmost for your race. He brought more cause awareness to this black brutality than anyone. Anyone. The answer is no. He ain't sell out. And anyone saying he sold out need to get their credentials checked. You are a fraud. I could be wrong. I think this Tariq dude, this so-called black influencer, let's say that, I think he posted something to the degree. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But he posted something to the degree insinuating that's a sellout move. So what he supposed to do? What he supposed to do? Just wait mad years? If he, in your world, then he not even supposed to sue him then. According to you, because you sue him for money. You don't sue him for pride. You're not suing him for dignity. You're suing him for money. So the lawsuit in and of itself is a sellout. Then you got all these people doing whatever they got to do to earn their living. But they're going to criticize this man. Colin Kaepernick is not a sellout. I'm going to stand on that. Anybody got a problem with it, come and holler at me. Basically, it is what it is. Thank y'all for watching, man. I'm going to be back with some more stuff. I told you 2019 is crazy. This is nonsense. And I'm just here to talk about it. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Audio Lincoln Mag is popping. We got the 1 minute news, and I'm about to start the end of the day live broadcast. So we in here, man. My name is Chuck Wickills, a.k.a. Charles Brown. Thank you for watching and listening. Peace.